For this video, I wanted to put something together that's a little bit different, but also special for y'all. And what I've done is I have compiled some of my favorite fall decorating videos and compiled them into one video for y'all to enjoy and get some fall ideas, inspiration, just different things like that. I know it can be hard to try to remember what video you saw this idea or what video you saw this inspiration, so that's why I just went ahead and compiled some of these. And honestly, the first three I think that you're going to see, they were never even shown on this channel here. When I had my other channel, these videos that I'm going to show you first, I think were actually shown on that channel over there. So they may not have ever been seen by some of y'all. So anyway, with that being said, that's what we're doing, and you will notice. So please note this. If you are a longtime follower of mine and you notice my house looks different, it's because these videos are simply a collection of ideas and inspiration from previous videos. I hope this gets you excited for the fall season. I was actually excited to watch some of these myself because I forgot a lot of the things that I had decorated with or what I even had. So it really kind of helped me and gave me some ideas and inspiration too when I was kind of editing it and watching a lot of it back. So while you are enjoying this video, just remember that I am in the background working on all of the videos that I'm going to be putting out in August for you. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of hot tea or whatever you like to drink and get comfortable and get you some of the most beautiful and fun, cozy, thrifted fall ideas. Little light does not have a timer or anything, but it does just have the, you know, where you can click it and turn it on and off. And so it's really easy to turn on and off. I usually turn it on in the morning and then my husband will just reach back there and turn it off at night. Not a big deal for us. So I just love how this looks. And then I'm just going to finish decorating the two-tiered tray real quick. A lot of people ask me how this shelf above my stovetop is hung up. It's literally, my husband just put screws in here, and this shelf just has little brackets on it. So I don't put anything super heavy up here, more for decoration, but he's got the screws in just enough so they'll catch and this won't fall, you know, so I can put a few decor pieces up there. Okay, so I want to show y'all this corner hutch that I am about to deconstruct. I'm about to take everything off of this. It has been like this probably since January. And even though I did love it, I'm definitely in the mood for some change over here. Like I said, I think this was very pretty during spring and summer, but I am just craving something different over here. So what I did was I had this decorated, as you can see, with all of my, not all of them, but a lot of my little collected white dishes and pieces. Even that precious little white baby gown there, which I might actually move that to my my bedroom on the peg rack or something, because I just really like how that looks. But anyway, what we're going to do to decorate this shelf for fall is, first of all, just take everything off of here, clean it really good, and then you might be surprised on how I decorate this, because it is going to be very simple and kind of minimal over here. So let's get everything taken off and get it decorated for fall. So one way that I love to dress up my master bedroom for fall is to do like sheets, comforter, blankets, a few florals, maybe a few pumpkins, but I primarily like for my bedroom to be very laid back, not a lot going on, not very busy, you know, just kind of relaxing. And I have looked all over the place trying to find some sheets that would kind of go for fall and maybe even Christmas and after, and just kind of switch them out, or at least transition them in from fall and to Christmas so that I'm not just using them for such a short period, if that makes sense. And I found these sheets here, y'all, at JCPenney's of all places. We just happened to go shopping one day in a mall with some friends, and a couple of the little ones needed to go to the restroom, and I walked by these and I was like, oh my goodness, these are the exact colors that I am looking for. They are perfect. And I have them laying on this blanket right here just so that you could see how well they are going to go with this. So I got this blanket here, I think last year. I honestly cannot even remember where I got it. If it was at Ross or TJ Maxx, somewhere like that. It was not thrifted. Here's the tag on it right here. I don't know where I got it, but I love these colors, and I normally have this in my living room like all year long, but I pulled it off from in there to use in my bedroom for fall. So yeah, here they are. I have a king size bed. Now definitely get these when they are on sale, or you have a coupon. That's what I did. I like stacked them. And it's called Beige Medallion. And here's just an up close look at the colors in it. And it's got just a very, very hint color of almost like that rust or burnt orange color, but not enough to be just, you know, way overbearing. So I'm excited. I'm going to get these unpackaged and get them washed so that I can get them on the bed. And now I want to show you the bedspread that I got to get us through fall and Christmas, and even probably through New Year, maybe even spring and summer. So this bedspread could honestly cover all seasons. So I got this bedspread right here from Marshall's, and we just really do not like a heavy comforter or bedspread or quilt or anything like that. My husband gets very hot even in the winter, so I will normally just get like a very thin type little bedspread or something, and then I can just throw a blanket over me on my side, which is what I will do with this. So let me show y'all these colors. I was hoping that it would say the color on here, but it doesn't. It just says Cotton Stonewash Quilt. And I really, really like this green color because it's kind of muted down. It's not like a real winter green, and it's not like a real springy kind of green. It just kind of gave me that feeling that I could use this for fall. I could use this during Christmas. I could even use this during spring and summer because it looks beautiful with these colors. But then I also put my blue sheets that I got at Target up against this, and it looks beautiful even with the blue sheets, kind of incorporating some blue. So I love to get a solid color bedspread or quilt or whatever. But again, like I said, it has to be very, very thin. Let me pull it out so I can kind of give y'all an idea of just how thin I'm talking here. I know that some of y'all live up north and you have to have like the heavy ones because it gets so cold where you live and you need heavy duty warm quilts, but child, I live here in the deep south and it just stays hot pretty much all year around. So I was excited to get that. Oh, let me tell you how much this was. So there's the price. It was $49.99, which I thought was a good price because I'm going to use this all the way through Christmas, and then we'll see after Christmas what I decide. But I also wanted to show y'all, oh, let me pull these up here. So before I put these in, I wanted to just kind of show y'all how all of these colors look together. See how pretty these all kind of go together? And then with my throw pillows and different things like that, I will definitely be able to dress it up in here, throw up a wreath, a couple of pumpkins, and then my bedroom will be set. I am so excited for these. These feel so nice. I am very, very funny about my sheets. These are polyester. So, and no, I did not pay $100. That is a lie. Did not pay that, would not pay that for sheets. I think I paid, maybe after discounts and coupons, I'll have to put it on the screen here. I might have paid $40, $50. I'm not really sure. But the sheets that I get at Sam's, I pay like even $60 for, just because my sheets do have to be just right. But I use them for years and years. I mean, literally until they get a hole in them, I will use them. Like, look at this so far. I don't even have pillows on here, but I am loving it so far. The color of this bedspread is so perfect, y'all. Like, it is not wintergreen, it is not spring green, it is just the right color of green. I love it. So I'm just loving the simple look, just with the little throw blanket. And then I think what I'm going to do is use these really velvety looking pretty pillow covers that I just got recently at IKEA. This one looks kind of like a different color, but it's just because it's still in the bag. But I'm going to add these. So I usually like to have something folded like really neat along the end here. So I don't know what I'll do about that. I do love just having the throw blanket up here. But anyway, once I finalize the look of the bed, I'll show y'all. Today I'm excited to bring you along as I decorate my thrifted hutch using mostly thrifted treasures that I've collected over time. I love giving new life to secondhand pieces, and this hutch has become one of my favorite spots to style for the seasons. So whether you are a fellow thrifter or you just love cozy, budget-friendly decorating ideas, I hope this gives you a little inspiration to shop your stash, get creative, and style a space that you love, because I'm telling you that there is nothing that I am using in this thrifted hutch decorate with me video today that is purchased new. I have just gathered things from around my home, and most of them, like I said, are secondhand. So let's get started. The way we're going to do this today is in sections. We're going to start here at the top of the hutch where I just made this little black riser over, and I have a little primitive vintage looking light up there that I'm going to be putting in something. And we're just going to kind of go down and go shelf by shelf. So what I'm going to do is just show you, like I said, section by section of everything that we're putting in each spot. And these are the items that I am going to be putting on the top. I know it looks like a lot, minus the cat. She's not going to be a part of my decor up there. She'd probably get up there and knock some stuff off if I didn't watch her as close as I did. But here are the things that we are using on that top shelf. And let me just say this. Everything here is thrifted or secondhand, except for these pumpkins here and these hydrangeas. They are both from Hobby Lobby, but like I said, everything else is secondhand. So without further ado, let's get started on the top of the hutch. Okay, I am sorry about the shadow. No matter which way I move the camera, we've got a shadow. So we're just gonna have to work with it instead of against it. All right, now y'all know that we got to dust everything while we're up here, because we probably won't get up here and dust again until we decorate for Christmas. Let's just be real. I mean, I say that unless I get my ceilings done, then of course I'll be having to redust all of this stuff. So, which I'm supposed to have somebody come by today, but I'll believe it when I see it, because trying to get contractors out to your house has become quite difficult. Oh, you know, I did want to do something else. I wanted to show y'all a little hack or a little trick for holding things up. Let me go get a hammer and a couple nails real quick, because I am going to be putting a couple of these cutting boards. I'm going to like lean them up like this, just to kind of fill in this white space back here. Plus I have like a little damage to this wall, and so I'm trying to hide it. So I think I'll put the big one over here, and then I have this other small one that I am wanting to put on this side. Now, what I don't want to happen is for this to accidentally fall down the back of that crack. So what I'm going to do is make me like a little makeshift plate rail, if you will, I think is what I was trying to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a couple of very small little panel nails in the front of this. But then I'm also going to put a couple in the back. But just so that I kind of know where I want it, I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm just going to do one in the front, because I'm not really worried about, and that'll keep it from like sliding forward and moving a bunch of stuff around. I'm not going to do two. I think I'm just going to do one. So I'm just going to put one right here in the front. And that's just to keep this cutting board from like sliding forward and knocking anything off and me having a big old mess on my hands. So I'm going to scoot it back just a little bit. I want to make sure I got room in the back. I better just move that. I might have a catastrophe. And I don't want to go all the way down, like I'm just trying to make something for this to not slide. And then I'm going to take and put a couple, like one here and one here, just to keep it from sliding off backwards. I'm just going to use this one here in the front as my guide. Like I said, I just don't want this slipping, falling off. And you don't want very big nails. I mean, I'm talking like tiny, they're little tiny paneling nails. So hopefully y'all can see those. There's one there, and one there. And then I'm just going to slide this like so into position, and that keeps it from falling off the back, and it keeps it from sliding forward. I'll do the same thing for this other one. Okay, now I'm gonna put the riser back. I just didn't want to forget to do that. I told myself to do that while I was up here so that I could, you know, keep all of this decor too that's on this safe, because if somebody accidentally moves this, the likelihood of the bottom slipping and moving all this forward is very high. So anyway, I mean, if they moved it enough without knowing, it's going to fall off the back regardless, but we're a little safer now anyway. All right, so I want to take my little lamp that I'm going to use, and I want my switch where I can reach it. So I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to kind of put that underneath that leg to keep it from sliding all around. Trying to get that positioned where I know I want it, where you won't see the cord too much. Okay, so the little primitive lamp here, or night light I should say, is just going to go in the middle. I've just taken my cord and kind of put it underneath one of the legs here to keep it from, you know, getting all tangled. But I want to use this to put the little lamp in. So all I'm going to do is make sure I got enough slack pulled over here. I can just set that down in there. You won't be able to see this cord once you're down on the floor. I'm also trying to keep the little on-off switch easy for me to reach over there. Yeah. Okay, yeah, look, you're not going to be able to see that from down low. All right, and what do I want to put over here? Okay, yeah, I want to put this basket. All right, now I just want to put this basket up here. Add in these beautiful florals right here. So I'm just going to start putting these in one by one till I'm happy with it. Taller ones in the back. Okay, I think I'm kind of happy with that. Can't really tell till you get down and look at it from afar, but I think I'm good with that for now. Okay, and right here, and I know some of y'all are probably going to tell me that this is too big for this, and I know that it is, but I'm going to look for a different base to this cake plate. I just really wanted a glass piece up here, and I wanted to display the pumpkins in this cake plate like I'm going to do. I think that is just so cute. So we're going to use what we have for now, and it's not that bad. It's not that terrible. So on the cake plate, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to bring out a little bit of this color out of some of the florals that I put on my kitchen table. Didn't really want white. I wanted something with some color because I've already got like such a neutral palette up here and cream colored florals over here. I just wanted a pop of color up here, and I think that these pumpkins are going to give me, you know, just what I want without like really overdoing it. So my fall decor is pretty neutral, but I do enjoy having a pop of color here and there, especially for the holidays. So I'm just kind of squishing these up here. I don't know how many or how tall I can actually get it, but we're going to see. Just try to arrange them in a way where they all fit. So let's see if I can get the top on with all of these on here like this. But I also want to be able to see the pumpkin side, you know, from the front. So let's just put the top on and see. Okay, I just really want these to kind of lean. Okay, let's see. I really want to be able to see these in the front, so I kind of want them turned. There we go. So you can actually see that they are, you know, pumpkins. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the top. Okay, I forgot something on the top. I had it right here, but I keep these antique bells, this antique bell garland. I keep this here up at the top as well. So I'm just going to place this up here. And I kind of let it drape over just a little bit, and so you can see it, you know, but not so that it's in the way of the doors. Okay, now we're going to work on this shelf right here. Of course, y'all already know we got to give this a quick little dust because it does get dusty in here. Let's do the back too. But as good as I'm gonna get that. Okay, I'm gonna show you pieces that we are using on the top shelf. It's gonna seem like a lot. It is a lot, but it works. It's functional. So let me just tell you again that everything here is thrifted except the oatmeal that's in the Wexford canister. The flour and the sugar canisters are not thrifted, and these two things are not thrifted. These are Hobby Lobby. Those two things are Target. But everything else that you're going to see me decorate this top shelf with is secondhand. Okay, so let's get started on that shelf. Okay, let's work on this next shelf down. And honestly, this is my favorite shelf here. It's more eye level for everybody to see this stuff. And I think I have like the most fun decor on this shelf right here. So I'm excited to get this one done and show y'all. I was able to use a lot of my little things to style in here. I haven't really used a lot of my little bitty trinkets and decor and stuff because I'm limited. But once I figured out that I could like decorate in here more and still, you know, have my food stuff in here, it's going to be so cute. Okay, so here is the majority of the pieces that are going on that shelf. Again, like with everything else, everything here is thrifted except for the wooden spoons, this little battery operated candle, this little pumpkin that came from Cracker Barrel. Of course, the toothpicks are not thrifted, but everything else is secondhand. I will also be using these pieces here on this shelf, all secondhand pieces as well. I'm scooting this a little more this way so that you'll be able to see it through the window. I know it's not really centered, but that's kind of purposeful. This is a picture of my grandmother in her kitchen. Sorry for that glare. I'll have to turn that in just a minute. And then this is the tiniest little hen on a nest that I have ever seen, and I love it. I'm going to tuck in a little dried floral here, just on the edge. I'm kind of holding that picture because it has such a bad glare, it's going to blind y'all. Then I'm going to take this little Cracker Barrel pumpkin, and once I get everything in place here, I want to just kind of prop this pumpkin up and like lean it up against the picture there. So sorry about the glare on that glass. One of my favorite pieces, I believe I got this at Goodwill, is the pumpkin pie plate. Like I said, one of my favorite pieces. I think it just makes the whole fall vibe for this hutch, in my opinion. Now this is a fun garage sale find. This is an old bed spring. Okay, and this bottom shelf is where more of the food stuff is going to come in that I keep in, like my Wexford canisters and all. So I'm going to show y'all everything that I have over there that's thrifted, and I don't think that there's one thing, well, there is one thing that's retail over there. But let's get this dusted really, really quickly. Okay, so there is actually two things that are not thrifted, and it's this jar right here. And it is this little salt and pepper shaker here. This, I believe, came from Hobby Lobby. But all of these Wexford canisters I have collected over time, primarily from thrift stores. And then I have these adorable little muffin trays that I'm going to use as a little backdrop. I just thought it was fitting to use these by kind of like all of the baking mixes. I have like coffee beans, oatmeal, protein powder, flax seed. I mean, I don't even know what's in one of those. Oh, pancake mix, bread flour. So this is just a lot of different things like that I like to keep. I like to keep these on the bottom because they are so heavy. Okay, so we all just come in the back door, so I'm just going to show you a few little things here at the back door as you come in. I just have a welcome to our home sign, and actually got that at the Dollar Tree many years ago, and a couple of produce bags, which I don't have any produce in those right now because we are getting ready for a home renovation, and I hardly have any food actually. I do have a copper piece up here. I love the copper and the brass combination. This piece I thrifted and I love it so much. And then as you walk in, we have my antique country farmhouse table. I don't know what else to say about this thing other than I absolutely love it. Got this at an estate sale. I got the chairs, I think a Facebook Marketplace find. And what I did here on the kitchen table is I just mixed a mixture of things that are retail and things that are thrifted. If you have any questions where something might be from, just ask me down in the comments. Like if you want to know if it's retail, I will let you know. A lot of these things I've done like videos on, so you could probably go back and find some of that information there as well. But also, I don't mind answering any additional questions down in the comment section. But I love this big centerpiece here that I made. I think this just makes a statement as soon as you walk in the door. And then I have some beautiful just candles here. These are the battery operated candles that I got from Target. And let me just tell y'all, when I showed these in that Target haul video, y'all went to looking for these. Like I had so many questions and comments and emails about these candles in particular. That is wild. So if you want some of these are so beautiful. You cannot see them as well right now because I do have the big light on just so that I can show y'all, you know, all the things. But I will turn the big lights off here in just a minute and kind of show you what this looks like in the evening. Yeah, this is just an example of how I use retail and thrifted pieces together. Work off a remote and a timer. I love them. They come from Target. These came from Hobby Lobby. This is thrifted. The little candle snuffer is thrifted. Do I really need that right here with these faux candles? No, but it's cute. The crock, the layering piece here is thrifted. So I'm not going to continue to tell you all that through the video, but I just want to give you an example of how mixing retail and thrifted pieces can make just a beautiful, beautiful space. These little saucers or plates, I don't know what they are. They're little courier knives plates there. And I just put that glass pumpkin on top. I normally have like a little battery operated candle in that as well. But all of those that I have, the batteries are dead on them. So I've got to get some more of those. And then I took a retail runner from Hobby Lobby that I got at 90% off, might I say. So I paid like $1.90 for that. And then I took these thrifted pieces here. This is actually a thrifted napkin holder. And I took and put a couple of thrifted little cutting boards on it just to bring some warmth and just something different to the table here. I absolutely love how I got the table decorated for fall, and I hope that it gives you all the cozy fall vibes and inspiration and ideas that you might need to decorate maybe your table for fall 2025 as well. We're going to go to this little space over here right by the door. That's right where we came in over there a while ago. And I have this little camping oven that I got at Goodwill. And I decided to put my pumpkin pie plate that I got at Ross in there this year. You know, it is a camping oven. So I wanted it to look as if something was in there baking or cooking like a pie. I just think that turned out really cute. So right here I just have a restaurant ware plate, a little crock, and a little nightlight. I love these little bulbs. They have the very primitive look to them. And I just keep it pretty simple over here because I need this countertop space to dry dishes. Like I do have a dishwasher, but a lot of things I like to hand wash. And so I definitely need the counter space to lay like a drying mat and do that. Here's what I've done with the windowsill, just some very neutral pieces. Again, a lot of thrifted and then adding in some retail pieces just to make it all work together. This big pumpkin here, I kind of have layered with this piece here. I got it Goodwill years ago. I got this recently and I forgot to show it in my haul. I had already had it up here and I just forgot to show y'all. So I did get this big cutting board this year at Hobby Lobby, and it's, I guess you would use it for like a big charcuterie board or something like that. I think it's so pretty layered up here. And then this pumpkin I got last year at Hobby Lobby when they had 90% off. So I just kind of layered all three of these pieces here together. That light's kind of in your way, I know, but that's just what that looks like there. And then a couple more, you know, secondhand pieces over here, one holding the plant and things like that. And then I like to keep my cast iron skillets up here. I think they look nice with the black, and I actually use those, so it's handy for me to grab. So yeah, here's just kind of what I did in the windowsill. I love decorating my little windowsill because I spend a lot of time here. I don't really have curtains or put curtains up here, just because we do have a lot of privacy back there. There's like no one that lives behind us. And so this kind of acts as a curtain for me. Y'all would be surprised at the questions that I get about this piece right here. People ask me, am I trying to hide something? Like, why is that up there? No, I'm not trying to hide anything. I show y'all clips of all my house all the time, but that kind of acts as like a little curtain for me, I guess, if you will. But yeah, and I also like how it looks. So this little area I think is super sweet, and I love that. Nothing exciting over here happening, but I do want to tell you that if you want some of the most amazing fresh and fall cleaner smell, get you some of this. I found this at, where did I find it? Lowe's. So I haven't found this anywhere else, but I found this at Lowe's. It's about $5, but the apple cider Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray cleaner is the best. The best. Okay, there's not a whole lot of change or anything really different like for fall happening over here. There is something that I do over here that is different. So this used to be on top of my hutch. I made that over, I think last Christmas, and put these little knobs on it. This thing was like a very bright orange and yellow, and it was just horribly ugly. So I gave this a makeover. I gave this a makeover, added the knobs. I put the little light behind it. You kind of see it peeking out there, and moved my mixer to underneath the cabinet. So I really like how this looks over here. This just kind of stays the same usually. So I will say the only really like fall thing that I did over in this area is I added these little wooden spoons with the pumpkin on the handle here. And that gives just a very subtle touch of fall over here without overdoing it. Right above, I just have a black basket that I like to keep up there. Sometimes if I'm needing to go back to my other pantry, I will take this off, grab it, and I will go get like a few of the ingredients that I need, like tomato sauce and tomato paste and all that for spaghetti or something like that. So not only is it beautiful up there, but it does help me gather things when I need it. Okay, and just coming straight across from where we were, there's the black basket up there. I keep this little shelf here above my stove. I just love to have it there. It is so cute. So many people tell me that they would have never thought to do that, and that they have all went and added little shelves above their stovetop like I did, and that makes my heart so happy to hear y'all getting ideas and all the things. So if you have an empty space above your stovetop like I did, and you just couldn't figure out what to do with it, maybe putting a little thrifted shelf is just what you need as well. And again, this is just a lot of stuff that I already had. I have these crocks that I mean, they just blend right in with fall. I normally keep a lot of these out all year long anyway. I've moved salt and pepper up here. I have a piece of ironstone. This is from Hearth and Hand line at Target. I like to have that up here. And then what I did here is I took one of these little glass pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. They are very inexpensive. And I added a lot of my tiny baby little vintage salt and pepper shakers in there. And I think that turned out really, really cute. And on the other side of, so this is our microwave above the stove, is just another like bread basket back there. It's like a long one, and it just hangs on the wall back there and gives just a touch of that black color that I've been trying to bring into my kitchen for a while now. And it matches like, almost like the basket on the other side. I'll step back in a little while and kind of do a pan around of everything, so you can kind of see how it all flows and blends together. I just keep a simple copper kettle. Speaks for itself. It's beautiful, and I really don't need anything else up there right now. I did have a candle and a bunch of other stuff, and I just found that it was getting in my way, so I had to move a lot of that. There's a knife set over in the corner. I'm at a weird angle right now because there is a very bad shadow. I like to keep our farm fresh eggs in this Pampered Chef loaf pan because it fits perfectly right here. I was keeping them in a bowl like over here by the tea kettle and stuff, but I found when I was cooking and stuff, the eggs were just getting, I felt like they were getting too hot. So I just leave them right here. In case you're wondering, we have 20 chickens and we have farm fresh eggs, and it is completely fine to leave them out room temperature for, I believe, at least up to a week. So, and this one is a huge double yolker that my husband picked up last night. That is so cool. I put a Thrifted ironstone little platter, hung it up. You can see all of that beautiful staining on that. I love that. And it's got the beautiful brown colors, perfect for fall. I took a retail Hobby Lobby wreath, hung that underneath there to give, more fall colors. And then I took some Hobby Lobby little foam pumpkins and put them in a Thrifted basket. And the reason I say it like that is just to show you how you can mix, again, Thrifted and retail items and just make them blend beautifully together. I have this little amber glass butter dish down here. I think that this is just the sweetest thing. And yes, we do keep butter out room temperature. We go through it fast enough that it's not going to spoil or make anybody sick. It never has, so we're all good. So yeah, this is kind of what this side of the kitchen looks like just from a distance here. Okay, and kind of moving along around to the other side of the oven. I did hang up one of those little fall towels. Everybody told me how much they really liked them. I wasn't loving them, but y'all were all like, oh my goodness, they're so pretty. So I didn't want to go buy another one, so I just hung this one up. Okay, so up here is where I keep like all of my baking, like cinnamon, not all my baking stuff, but like all of my cinnamon, baking soda, baking powder. And I just took and made like a little curtain up here instead of having all cabinets, and I just did that with this material here just to kind of give the look that I want. So I love that. And then over here all I have is just some copper pans that I've thrifted every one of these, and they all have the beautiful brass handles. So that's what I look for now when I'm looking for copper pieces. I want it to have the brass handles. So, and these all do. And what's funny is I bought all of these at different times, or maybe I bought two of them together and the other one separate, but they all look like they go together, don't they? So pretty. I love these against that white wall. Onto the countertop over here, and this is where I do have a little more decor, because this countertop here is really, I don't use it for a lot of chopping or preparing or cooking or anything like that. The most I might use this thing here for is for serving. So I do have a little bit more decor over here. Just took it's either antique or it's vintage for sure, or it could be antique. And it hasn't been too terribly long since I picked this up, but I took this sifter and I put some hydrangeas in there from Hobby Lobby. And I think that looks so pretty. Then I have that little chalkboard back there, little daily reminder blackboard. I was going to put some ribbon through those holes at the top, but I felt like it was maybe overkill. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like the tone of that wood and the black just kind of as the backdrop for this other stuff over here in this corner. It's got the height that I like and all the things. And this little lamp, or this little nightlight, yeah, it's a little lamp with the pleated shade. How cute is that, y'all? I got that at Target very recent for only $10. And this has worked out so pretty over here in this corner, especially at night when I have all the big lights off and I have, excuse me, all of my little ones going. I love that. So if you are a girl who loves a very soft light look in your kitchen after you've kind of closed it down, but you still, want to have some low light going in there, go to Target and see if they have these. $10. They're the perfect size. Our bread box that I made over, and we actually do use this for bread. So I don't have anything on top of it just because I felt like with all of the other decor I had going on around it, putting something on top of it was just too much, if there is such a thing. But yeah, so I left the top empty there, and I love how this spot looks over here. This is the piece that I just got at the antique store, and the baby little pears that I just got at the antique store, and how beautiful do these look together. I love that look right there. Just have that sitting over here with some amber glass canisters that I got. I got these on clearance one year at Target. They are the Hearth and Ham, but I got them for like 75% off one year at Target. Just some dried florals. A thrifted tray back there that I hung up. I said I wasn't going to say thrifted all throughout, but I can't help it, y'all. Like, there's something just tells me to let y'all know where some of this stuff is from. And then I got this here just sitting on a couple books, and I just love how all of these colors go together, and it is just a fall palette here for me without having all of the, I don't want to say pumpkins, because so many people do love pumpkins, and I don't want to make it sound like pumpkins are a bad thing, but for me, I'm not ready for pumpkins. And so this helps me start to bring in and get that fall look that I want without bringing in a lot of pumpkins, because I do like pumpkins, and I am going to have them in some of my fall decor. But just in my kitchen right now, I've only got like a couple spots where I've got pumpkins. This is like my favorite spot as far as the colors go right here. And then over here in this bowl, I took these pears that I didn't thrift these. I took these pears that I got at Hobby Lobby that look so realistic and put them in this bowl that I did thrift with just a couple of those extra towels, just trying to kind of bring in a little bit of that fall color behind those pears and help kind of lift them up, because I also put some of those pears in this piece here. I love this up here on my bar. There's something about the colors again that I also love. And I just think that my bar here on the top looks very clean, and I don't have near as much stuff as I usually do, just because I wanted this just to be able to show off for itself. I love this right here. And then back over here, this is pretty much the same. I've kind of had this here for a while, but I did add this little wire chicken with some of these tiny little baby pumpkins in there. I just think that's really cute. And I love how that's kind of like open and airy, except for where the pumpkins are, so it just don't feel too heavy for me up there. So here's a look at some of the things we just looked at, but a far back kind of view, I guess, so you can see what it looks like, you know, when you're not just standing right on top of it. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail too much on this spot here, because I did just post this in my last Friday's thrifting video, and we decorated this together and talked about this together in that video, but I will just give you a quick little overview of this spot just in case you did miss that video. I do encourage you to go back and watch that though, because you can see some before clips of this table and all the things. So like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time there just because we went over that in depth in that video. I've also did a whole dedicated video to this hutch, so I'm not going to go in detail on this either, but I did want to show y'all what I added. So when I did that video, I did not have these little saucer plates here hung on the side of the hutch, so I have added those recently. This just gives, I don't know, a little something something over here on the side of the hutch, that little fall look, I guess you could say. I got those last year or year before, I think at a Goodwill, and I just think it gives a nice little touch there. So something that I did do different from the original video that I posted about the hutch is I kind of scooted all the Wexford pieces down. I took the big thing of flour and put it down in one of the cabinets underneath, because it's bread flour and I don't use it as often as I do my all-purpose flour. And then I added these thermoses, and I think this helps give it a little more color for fall. And it's in the kitchen. It makes sense that it's in the hutch. You want to grab it out, make, you know, send it in your lunch, whatever your thermos needs are. But I just think that that looks really cute in there, and that it made more sense for those to be in there versus that big gallon of bread flour that I'm not using right now. It is just so hot. I don't want to be baking bread right now. I'll probably be doing that more in the fall when it is actually really fall and cold, and or cool at least. But yeah, what do y'all think? I did add these here. And then just very briefly, this is what it looks like on the top of my hutch, in case you missed it. And then what each shelf looks like. I will show it very quickly just in case you are someone who watches all of my videos. I don't want to be very repetitive. Oh, I did add those little blue cups that I got at Goodwill not too long ago just because I love those. So yeah, that's the hutch. And here's what I got going on the top of my fridge. I did change a couple things up here. I think the only thing that is really the same is the radio, but I did take and put my big blue and white crock that normally sits here. It's in another room, and I brought this that I used to use for my fruit, and I just put it up there, this big pitcher, and I put the plant that was in the other big crock in this brass pot here. Because it's fall, I think it just makes more sense and it looks better with that two-tiered tray thing that I got going on there. So that's all I did there on top of the fridge, in case you are looking for some top of fridge decorating ideas. I don't have cabinets or anything above my refrigerator, so it's really easy for me to add some decor up there. So now we are on the other side of the refrigerator, and I just put a fall wreath over here, just something very simple. So I did not change the picture or anything over here. I love this picture so much that this is just going to be its home for now. I love that. Plus it kind of has a fall look to it, even though it's, you know, the trees and all are really springy. The age of it, I think, helps it blend into all seasons, honestly. Now I did add this amber glass canister over here that I did wash, but I still need to put my ground coffee in. I just have not done that, but that's where that's going to go. And then I added these little pumpkin spoons, little pumpkin wooden spoons that I got at Hobby Lobby, in this little thrifted ironstone pitcher. And then I also added this brown crock over here and these fall hydrangeas, just to kind of get, you know, a little touch of fall over here. But really everything else over here is just like the normal stuff that I was having over here. Really didn't do anything else fall-ish over here. Anyway, yes, this is how I have decorated my little country kitchen for fall, and I love it. I'm happy with it. I don't really see me putting anything else in here out for fall or changing too much in here, unless I just come across something that I can't live without. But I love how I have the different little lights distributed around. The little candles, that's one of my favorite. And when all of the big lights are off and the sun is down, like I said, all of these little night lights and little lamps that I have throughout just really make it look so cozy in here, and you just want to curl up by a fireplace, even though we can't do that right now because it is still hot here in Texas. Okay, so because my living room and kitchen are open concept, we're just going to come through the kitchen. I've already showed you that video, and just come straight into the living room, showing you some of my thrifted and retail pieces and just kind of how I make these all work together. So we'll start over here just on the other side of my kitchen. I did hang these Hobby Lobby prints. I showed these in a haul video here just a while back, and I really like how these look. I wasn't sure I was going to like it with that split in the middle, but honestly, I think it gives it character. I really do like it. And then over here, I've just taken some thrifted. This is an old kitchen pantry cabinet. And this is just an old shutter door that I took apart, and I kind of layered those here behind this thrifted blue little, what do you call this, side table? I call it like a little mini hutch. I gave that a makeover, and I just kind of have those behind that. And the reason that I have these layered here like I do, honestly, is because I have behind that, I have a big square like Wi-Fi box. That's just where the guy put it, and so I try to kind of hide it and conceal it. It works. So this all, I just kind of have everything, try to be like equal in heights and different things like that. So I do feel like it's okay with those there. I don't mind it. I like it. So yeah, I have just a ton of thrifted pieces going on here. All of this stuff, all except for these florals, is thrifted, and the TV. This little picture here is one of my favorite prints. It is just so simple, and I love it, and I think it's perfect for fall. It goes along with these stems here. These are some of the ones that I picked up at Target and just put in a thrifted basket. I did add some thrifted dishes here, just in this spot. I don't know, it just really gives it that cottagey kind of look, and I like the dishes. I did have a basket in there, but since I put the basket there and took away the crock, I felt like I needed to take the basket away here. It was just too much, you know, basket going on there. So got those there. And then down here I have this big chest that I got at an antique store. This come from Goodwill. I just kind of have it stacked up. It's hiding all of the cords back there for the most part. If you're looking at it, you know, from this way, you can't see all the cords. My brass duck, love that. Paid $5 for that at a thrift store. And then just another basket filled with, you know, some softer things like some pillows, a linen hanging out. I put this little blanket over here just because it does have that blue color, and it really helps tie into that little blue cabinet, in my opinion. So I really like how that looks. My yard sale antique ironing board up there, I absolutely love that. So I just have that hanging on the wall. So if I kind of step back a little bit, you can kind of see how I try to balance it all out around the TV. It's almost as if I've tried to frame out around the TV with my decor and just make it work. And I love it. So, and I just like all the different pieces. Everything's not the same. It's got a little interest to it. Okay, so probably my favorite place, and probably the whole living room, my favorite place is the fireplace mantle and just the fireplace in general, because I really feel like our fireplace is so big, it kind of makes a statement when you first walk in. I mean, I'm trying to step back just so you can see how big it is. And it's just my favorite thing. I do have a electric little, what do you call them, the little fireplace heaters in there. So I could put on the little faux fireplace, but since we are still in August, I figured that might be pushing it. It is so hot here still. I just can't even turn on the fake fire and pretend like it's cool. We're just gonna work with the candles that we got for now. But yeah, this is probably my favorite place in the whole living room. I love just all of the different browns, and a lot of these things I keep in here all year round, not just for fall. So you can see how I have just a lot of warm tones throughout my decor usually. I did add a fall wreath up there just to kind of give that little touch. And of course, here's some more of this color here that I really love. Like I say, I love a lot of the warmer tones all year long anyway. So it makes decorating for fall for me pretty easy, and transitioning out of summer. And I just don't have a whole lot of pumpkin-y things out yet, but I do have a couple. So that's really all I did to the fireplace mantle, is add that wreath. So that's that. If you want to know where anything is from, just don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section. I don't want to say thrifted 5 million times. I feel like I already say it so much that it aggravates some people. But just know, if you're here on my channel, that we like to thrift just about everything. So if you want to know if it's retail, just ask me and I'll let you know. Even the rug down here was bought at an estate sale. The little curtain, I just did a DIY on. I went and bought my own fabric and I tried to do like a little primitive side sweep curtain there. So I really like that. And because it's really hard to put two curtains here, because this window is right up against this fireplace. So I feel like just doing that side swoop there is the best option, honestly. And then here's the little side table here by the couch with some more of those or one of those battery powered candles that I got at Target. The table's thrifted, and everything except for the plant and the lamp and the little candle is thrifted. Now my furniture is actually from IKEA. I've had it for a couple years, and what I love about it is you can take each individual piece off of like the seats, the cushions, and then this one piece, and you can wash it. So I really like that. Nothing above my couch has changed. All of that is still the same. I just really like that. So I've not really done anything there. I was going to put a little wreath on that mirror, but I thought, no, that's good enough. Like, we're just going to leave it like that, because I felt like I did add here on the couch a couple of fall touches. Like with this pillow here, I got this at Ross, and I love the colors. It gives that definitely the fall colors that I really like. And I got this at Goodwill, and I actually just showed this in a thrift haul. So I washed it and I put it here, and just how beautiful does that look with all of the different colors and patterns I got going. So this is what I meant when I was telling y'all the other day that I'm just doing all of the different colors and patterns and things like that. So yeah, this is something I would never have done probably a year or two ago. I really, really like how it looks. It just gives that very cozy, comfy kind of feel. And it just all kind of meshes together, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. And then here on my little thrifted coffee table, I just put a pumpkin candle on a couple little plates. And I got my plant there. And everything else included is secondhand as well. So that's what this little spot is looking like. Then we're just going to move around here to the other side of the living room, to my little corner hutch with all of my thrifted decor, books, you name it. Everything here is thrifted except for the little candle that came from Target again. And yeah, love this. Okay, here, this ottoman and this chair also come from IKEA. It matches the couch. And I just have tons of linens. Like, I have just really layered up the linens this year for my fall decor with, you know, again, like all the different colors and patterns. And it just feels so cozy. I love this chair over here in this corner. And then above it here, I have a thrifted wreath that actually came from Hobby Lobby, but I thrifted it. And retail, this wreath, I think, was around $100. Of course, you could get it for $50, you know, if they have 50% off. But isn't that insane? I paid like $5 and something for it. And then the two little shutters you see behind there, I just kind of layered that together just because that wreath did not look good on the wall by itself. It needed to be grounded by something. So I took those little garage sale find shutters and just put it on there. A lot of other secondhand pieces here just hanging on the wall. I think this basket's very primitive looking, and I really like it. It probably needs dusted. I haven't pulled this thing down in a hot minute, but I really like that staple piece there. And then these two floating shelves that I keep over here. This is just all I've done on them is put some wheat in that thing up there. I've added one little pumpkin. I got that recently at Hobby Lobby too. I think I forgot to put that in my haul the other day. I was so excited with some of this stuff I had already decorated and forgot to include it in my haul. But yeah, this is just all I've done on these two shelves for fall 2025 so far. Back over here behind this big chair, I have this thrifted brass lamp that I love. I just keep this back here because I can turn it on if I'm sitting here reading or doing something like that and need just some extra light. I do have the lamp here, but it has like a really soft bulb in it, and I feel like that one does a better job. I feel like maybe there's too many lamps going on here, but we're going to just work with it for now. I got my ladder back there. I love that. And then here's a lot of secondhand pieces here and thrift store finds. I've even made over this little table like 2 or 3 different times. It's the same color blue as that other little table I showed y'all, so that they kind of look like a matching pair, even though they're not. So yeah, it's got the chicken wire on it, and I have a basket in there that holds books. And then just my recliner right here. Nothing special about this. So on this other wall, just across from my recliner, is another favorite spot of mine. I just love how all of these different colors and textures have come together on top of my buffet cabinet. So all of these shutters that you see here, I bought secondhand, like garage sales, thrift stores, something like that. And I did not want to put just some big picture up here. I wanted something that was, I guess you could say, like plain, because I just didn't want the busyness of a print. So I came up with this one day and fell in love with it. Like, I really like that. And I love how I was able to take this mirror that was on my antique vanity and layer it. And then I also was able to layer a vintage, or I don't know, could be even antique, like ironstone platter up there. Gives just a little bit of color, but I'm not overdoing it. And then I have all of these secondhand boxes. I think that one came from Salvation Army. This is a Longaberger runner that I found at a Goodwill one year. And yeah, just been able to take a lot of these thrifted and secondhand pieces and put with just very few retail pieces like these candles, and made it just look beautiful, especially for the fall season. The lamp here that you're seeing I got at Walmart probably several years ago, but it was really inexpensive when I bought it. So if you are looking for like Farmhouse, like smaller little lamps like that, you might check Walmart, because it kind of matches my bigger ones. So I was excited to find that, and I think I only paid like $20, $25 at the most. So that's what the buffet cabinet looks like from a distance. And then under it, I keep a thrifted toolbox, and I have some dishes on top of it. Mainly because I have nowhere else to put that box, but I love it. So I just put it under there, and it holds a lot of my seasonal clothes. So yeah, I'm able to use it for decor, but I'm also using it to store stuff as well. And then just right off of that, I keep my oil lamp here. And I did not show this in my kitchen fall tour, but I do have like all of these old country, secondhand, antique store, all the things like bowls up here. I really love those. And also in my home remodel thing that I'm working on right now, I do have in the bid for all of this to be knocked down and taken out and have can lights put in. So I don't know what I'll do with my bowls if that actually goes through and I don't have that anymore. And then over here I just have this little rocker, swivel rocker, which we love. I got that at a garage sale one day. I passed by it, wasn't expecting to stop at a garage sale. I got this and my desk and all the things. Like, it's got just this very cottage little look to it. It's the perfect size. Everybody loves it. Like, every time I talk about getting rid of this, everybody freaks out. Nobody wants me to get rid of it. Everybody loves it. Even my husband, 6'2", tall man, likes to sit in this chair. And then of course, just my bar stools here. And there's my kitchen, which y'all have already seen previously. Okay, so I'll do kind of like I did in the kitchen and try to just scan around really slow here at the end for you to see it all, you know, not section by section, kind of just as a whole. But yeah, I really love it. Okay, we're just going to start off here showing you a few clips of these bed skirts that we were currently using. And because we were, at the time of filming this, kind of stuck in our bedroom while our home renovation was going on, I decided that I wanted to kind of decorate in here and change some things up. And because I wanted to change out the bed skirts, it's kind of a whole process. You have to take the mattress off and all the things. So we said, well, while we're stuck in here during the renovation, let's just go ahead and clean underneath the bed and mop and all the things, because we really couldn't get into the rest of our house at this time anyway. So we just took advantage of being in our bedroom and cleaned it very well. Here is the black bed skirt that I wanted to use. I thrifted this at Salvation Army, and I'm going to be layering it with another thrifted bed ruffle here, not bed ruffle, bed skirt here in just a minute. You will see that, but I wanted to show y'all what we use on our bed skirts to kind of hold them in place. We got these, I believe, at Bed Bath & Beyond a long time ago. I'll try to find some more on Amazon if I can, and I will link them. Here is a clip of my bed skirts layered. The first time I showed this on my channel, so many of y'all were like, I have never heard of anybody layering their bed skirts, but I really like how it looks and I'm going to try it. So let me know down below if you are one of those that tried layering your bed skirts at some point. So here's the new bedding that I got. All I got was the bedspread. It did not come with shams or sheets or anything like that. I just got the bedspread, and I really like the colors in this. I think it goes perfectly for fall, and I think it's going to actually look good at Christmas and through winter as well. So when I was kind of shopping around for a new one, I tried to keep that in mind. I did go ahead and pick me up a new little throw blanket to keep on the end of the bed, because sometimes, like on a Sunday or something like that, I like to just come lay on the bed and watch a cozy show or something like that if my husband has football or something going on that I don't want to watch, and I'll just cover up with one of those little blankets. I picked up this beautiful pumpkin pillow at Walmart. It's actually by the My Texas Home line, and it is gorgeous. Then I wanted to move over here and just simply change out the material on my vanity. I believe that you can just change out things very simply for the different seasons, and you don't have to go all out with decor. So just simply changing out this one little thing made a big difference over here, in my opinion, and I truly love how it looked. Now, I do want to mention that in some of these clips, you are going to be seeing me with long fingernails, and then in some of these clips, they are very short. That's because some of these clips were filmed back when our home renovation was going on, and then some of them, like these clips you're seeing here, I filmed these literally just like yesterday. Okay, something I want to change in here since they put our new doors on with the new knobs and everything. When I look at that door and then these closet doors, something's throwing me off. So I think what will help me with these doors is doing just a very simple little change on them, and that is to change out the knobs. I bought some of these at Lowe's, and they match what I put in the bathroom, and they also kind of match what's on my dresser here. So I'm going to change those out, and hopefully that will kind of change the look over here that I'm loving. And then I keep these pictures over here too. So see, even with like these pictures, I think it will look so good. So let's change all of these out before I give y'all an overall look of the room. So now let's just go in and take a peek at everything kind of put together. I really love that I was able to bring a very fall look in here without doing a lot of different pumpkins and just fall signs, and you know what I mean. I really am trying to bring the seasons in without having to tell you that I'm bringing the seasons in, if that makes sense. So here's how the bedding looks all on. I love it. All the pillows there, it turned out really good. Okay, so I've talked about and showed you some of these pieces that were bought retail. The black pillowcases I got off Amazon, and I got them ruffled. They were very inexpensive. I already had the pillows, and I got them ruffled just because I wanted to, like, I don't know, make it like delicate it up just a little bit. Everything is kind of got a very masculine, in my opinion, color to it in here. So I wanted to just try to make it look a little more feminine, if that makes sense. Now the pillows that you see that are behind all of these, I actually got those thrifting, and I love those. I use those all the time. talk about a few more pieces since we're here at the bed that are thrifted. So I use an old antique door here over my bed as a headboard. And this is the door, actually, that was the inspiration for me to pick out the new doors that I did when we did our renovation. This is what I wanted my new ones to look like. I wanted them to kind of mimic this old antique door. That wreath is thrifted. The bells are from an estate sale. I just really like how all of the bedding came together. Very neutral colors, very fall looking colors, but also colors that I can add in Christmas decor and not have to change out the bedding or anything. So then let's move over here in this corner. Well, actually, let's go over here by the large wardrobe. So as you come in our bedroom, there is my big, beautiful new door there. We have a large wardrobe cabinet here. So in here beside the wardrobe, I added in this old antique ironing board. I used to have this in our living room and I did not want to get rid of this. So I moved it back here. I had a thrifted like chicken little hook thing here and I just took that down because I wanted to have this in here. And the reason I didn't put it back in the living room is because our TV now is centered on the wall and I just really didn't want to hang it on the wall in there. And then I just have a little thrifted like a trash can basket here. However, we don't put anything in it as of right now. It just sits there to look cute. So that's all I did right there. And then of course we're going to pass by our beautiful master bathroom now that is all made over. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. This was a wonderful before and after. I did change the curtains in here. Oh, let me just step in here and show y'all a couple of the updates that I did do. So I brought and put these curtains in here and I like these so much better because I feel like I had little drop cloth curtains in here to match this and it was just too, I don't know, stale looking, plain, like it needed just a little something. And I needed to change out my curtains. I can't get these even. What is the deal? I changed out my curtains in the kitchen because this material was like all wumpy at the bottom. So what I did is I just flipped it. I flipped these so that the bottom kind of has this little scrunched look and I just think that looks cute. And then I just flipped the part up there that was uneven and put some little clips on them. And I also painted, I took y'all's advice and I painted all of the trimmed out part of the window. So I do like that a whole lot better. And like I said, if that does not make sense to you, definitely go back and watch our renovation series with the bathroom and you'll understand. So then just moving over here, I love this rack right here. I keep this here all the time. I normally change out this stuff here for the different seasons. So I just have some ivory. What are these? Hydrangeas. I really wish I would have had something else to put in here. This is not my favorite look right now over here. I really wish I would have found like some really dark brown ones, but I did not want to spend any more money. So I just said, well, I'm just going to deal with this year. Maybe next year I can do something different. But all of this over here is thrifted. The peg rack, purse, hanger, and that's actually a curtain, just a lace curtain that I just kind of put up here just for a different little, you know, texture over here in this area. And I think it looks really cute. Sometimes I'll have like an old school, like baby, like white baby gown that I got at some yard sales hanging here, different things like that. But for now, this is just how I did it for the fall. And I really like that. And then I will usually after fall, take this down and do like a Christmas wreath or something. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing this Christmas, y'all. Everything is so different in my house. So we will see. And then over here, this is my husband's nightstand. I have matching lamps that I got. I believe I got those at Goodwill. I can't remember, but I love these so much. They are true brass and glass. And then I got the shades at a different time. So I bought the lamp bases one day thrifting, and then I ended up finding the shades later. Now, I just kind of layered some stuff here just to kind of bring in fall touches. Couple of old books, and this is some of the, I don't know, what do you call it, faux floral that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just really like the neutral look of this, and it almost from kind of far away looks like, you know, the season's changing, and this is like dying off or dead. And so it kind of just goes with the color scheme I've got going on in here. Like I said, I got these at Hobby Lobby and I absolutely love them. This picture here is actually from Hobby Lobby one year when they had like a 75% off or a 90% off clearance. And I do use this right now because I don't have true ironstone pictures this big. However, I am on the hunt, and that is the kind of things that I'm thrifting for that I can replace with true antiques and vintage pieces. Not that there's anything wrong with using those. However, I am just on a mission to have the authentic and organic ironstone pieces. So when I can replace that, when I can find one that I can afford to replace that, I will. Now this piece here I got from my daughter Kelsey. We were out thrifting together one day at a Goodwill and I spotted it first, honestly, and then I left it. And then she went and picked it up. She loved it and she used it for a while, and I told her, if you ever get rid of it, let me know. She got tired of it and she says, Mom, I'm getting rid of it. Do you want it? And I said, absolutely. I just love these colors, this old looking paper in here. The frame is older, and I just have it here, like I said, over this nightstand, and I really just like how this all kind of comes together. Okay, so we've already talked about the bed. Did I mention that this is a king size bedspread that I have had for years and years and years, and this is what I was using during the spring and summer. So for fall, I just folded it up and just kind of using it here as a layering piece on the end of my bed. We don't really use it because it does not get that cold here. If I get that cold, I'll grab my little blanket. I normally just fold this up, boom, 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 put it on the end of my hope chest, which my dad built me when I was 16 years old. I will never get rid of that. I love it. It is stuffed full, let me show y'all, of like my high school memorabilia and like a lot of the kids stuff. I keep it in there. Like I said, it is packed full and everything in there has meaning and I will never get rid of it. So moving along over here on my side of the bed, it is a little different over here as well. Of course, there's my thrifted lamp and shade that we already talked about. This crock used to be on my kitchen table and it looks almost like I got a new crock, doesn't it? But when you scan around here, you will clearly see that it has that blue heart. I just turned it. So for fall, I didn't want to see the blue because I really don't have a lot of blue going on in here. So I just turned it. And when you walk in, I mean, unless you go around there and know that it's there, you don't see it. So I bought a lot of these blackberry stems here at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love these. And they go so well with the black that's in my bedding. The black that's in these couple of little throw pillows there in the middle. And it just really kind of ties in that color over here. And I am obsessed with it. This pumpkin I got this year at Hobby Lobby. This table used to be in our living room. So this is another piece that was brought in from our living room after the remodel, as well as these pieces over here. So the lighting is going to get a little weird because we're by the window. But these two layering shutter shelves and doors that I've got at yard sales. That's an old pantry door right there. Let me try to get up a little bit closer so y'all can see it a little bit better. Yeah, this is an old pantry door. I think it was off my neighbor's old pantry, and I just took it and painted it, and I just kind of use it like as a layering piece like this. These used to be in the living room by our TV, and this is what used to cover our old Wi-Fi box. But I did something different in there, and then I thought, well, this corner really needs something, so let me bring these in here. I'm trying to get the lighting to work for y'all. It just does not want to work. Okay, well, I closed the windows for just a second so that hopefully y'all can get a feel for what I'm talking about. See how it's got that brown and that black and then that little heart wreath I thrifted probably just a couple of months ago, and it kind of almost matches the one behind my bed, except the one behind my bed is not a heart shaped, but they are pretty much the same. And so I think that, like I said, just it helps tie it all in and all together. You got a little bit of black there in the corner. You got the blackberries. You got the black pillow covers, and then the black in the bedding. So I really, really like how all of this tied together and kind of gave me a fall masculine kind of look, but with some very dainty and feminine touches, like with the just the wispiness of the blackberries, and then the ruffles on the pillows just kind of help give it a little bit of a feminine touch, in my opinion. I'll get these windows back open. So yes, I still have a window unit in my window, even though it's fall here in Texas. It is still like a 90 degrees, and at night it gets so stuffy. So down here, I do have, excuse me, a couple of thrifted, antique, and vintage picnic baskets. I normally have a fan on here, but I was using it in my bathroom earlier. I have a fan that I keep propped up here at night. It's the perfect height to blow like right in my face. I love it. But I got these thrifting, and I use all of my thrifted baskets like this to hold and store different things. And somebody had a good question. One time they asked me, how do you know what's in what? Well, I know that I always keep this one over here on the top full of things, like I've got plate hangers in there, command strips, just different things like that that I use to decorate with a lot. I always keep that one there on the top because I use it the most. And then in the bottom here, I have like some extra linen, I try to keep my linens separate if they are lace or if they are doilies and different things like that. So that's what's in the bottom there. And if I ever forget, I just look inside and try to remember where I put what. I know that I have like seasonal sheets in one. I have I kind of have things just tucked everywhere that I don't use on a daily basis. And if I kind of forget which one they're in because I have so many of those, I'll just open it up and look. All right, so moving along, I have some thrifted frames up here with some wedding pictures of my husband and I. And then over here on the dresser, I've got another one of those baskets. And I just kind of like having the height here on one end. There's a couple things kind of tucked in back here. This Wexford decanter I use for water for my not air purifier, my diffuser. And this little cutting board, I thrifted this not too long ago. And I use it on top of this basket because there was a lot of unlevelness. And so this kind of just brought in, again, another extra touch of different texture other than the basket, and it allows me to have this up here and it be even, and it just holds a few of my little decorative pieces. I just got this recently. Y'all are actually going to see this in a haul on Friday, so some of y'all are getting to see this a little early. Love that. And then, like I said, all of this is thrifted except for the florals and the pure air purifier, which I don't have on right now because it makes a lot of noise. It's got a little motor in it, and it's very distracting for my microphone. So yeah, that. And then this runner here is thrifted, as well as the cast iron irons, all the books, this little glass jar, which I just put some ribbon from Hobby Lobby on to give a little fall touch to that. But this pick here that's in this glass jug, I'm trying to get behind it where y'all can see them good. These I got from Hobby Lobby probably 2 months after fall last year, and they were marked down like 90%. So I think I paid like $1 for this pick, and it looks really, really pretty in here with all the fall stuff. I've actually had that in there. I think I had that in there all through the summer as well. The glass jug is a thrifted find, as well as this book and this lamp and shade. So I really like how all of this looks together too on our big, beautiful dresser. I'll just try to give y'all a little scan of that. Okay, and then moving over here to this corner, this is all kind of still the same. I have a printer's tray there that I got at a yard sale, and I just keep mine plain like that. Sometimes I'll put a wreath on it, but since I have this whole setup going right here with this basket and florals in it, I didn't want to put a wreath and have a wreath with florals and then this. I just felt like that was too much. So, excuse me. So this is how I just have this decorated over here with all thrifted pieces, everything except for the florals that are from Hobby Lobby. But all of these baskets hold different things for me, like seasonal sheets. I mean, you name it. I just have all kind of stuff. Seasonal clothing. I just keep use of them. They're not just for decor. I try to make my decor pieces very functional for me. And then I have these beautiful pictures over here that I got in an antique store, and I absolutely love, love, love these. I think it made a huge, huge difference. It's a lot easier to tell in person how much of a difference they made, but I am definitely a lot happier with that than just those big old chunky cheap wooden painted over knobs that we had on there. And then of course right here, this is something that y'all saw in the beginning of the video where we were changing out this, and I really, really like how this looks better. It just kind of ties into with the bathroom curtains, in my opinion. So you have the curtains that match this material, and then you have this in here. So, and you have the little bitty black night light. So again, just trying to kind of tie all of these colors together. Here's some of my vintage thrifted pieces here. I use this to hang jewelry. This is a shoe measuring pretty little thing here that I just have up here for looks. It don't really serve a purpose. All of my beautiful little pieces that I really, really love. Ignore my camera sliding through in the mirror. But again, I have this obsession with like very old boxes and things. And so I just have both of these on here. And this one here is holding a lot of the essential oils that I will use for, say, like at night or in my diffuser. And then the one here on the bottom, even though the latches don't work on these, y'all, I still use these. This one is holding a lot of my nail supplies. So you can see I'm keeping a lot of that in here. And so definitely making use of these beautiful pieces here and trying to make them functional as well. I'm sorry, I don't know where I was taking y'all a while ago, but I think I'm back on track now. And then I just have a bunch of other thrifted, not a bunch, I have several other thrifted pieces on here. This brass pocket change, little piece here, vanity set. And then I got this whole set here at Goodwill. And I just love these. Like, look at just the aged looking brass on those. Absolutely obsessed with that. So yes, that's how the top of my vanity looks. And I am still on the hunt for a chair for this vanity, y'all. As you will see, there is no chair there. So I haven't been using it as much because I just can't find a chair. Sometimes we'll have a fold-up chair in here that I'll sit at, that I'll sit in and sit at this. We just had a family dinner and we were using it in the living room. So I need to bring it back in here. But yes, that is my master bedroom all decorated for fall with mostly thrifted pieces. I know there are not a lot of, pumpkins and fall signs and all the things. I do have, I have one pumpkin in here. So we're doing the fall thing. And then my pillow has the pumpkin on it. It's just very subtle. And I just really, really like how it turned out. So thank y'all for coming and just seeing how I cozied up our bedroom for fall. I will put a clip up of kind of what it looks like at night just with the lamps on.